Hey, idiot. Do you know what's scarier than ghosts, ghouls, and even goblins? Medical malpractice. It's only a matter of time until a doctor doing a bad job changes the trajectory of your life forever. True story. Actual, true, real moment from me. I know a guy who went in for back surgery on his back because his back was bad, and because of the surgeon's mistake, his penis cannot get hard anymore, no matter what. So that might probably is gonna possibly be happening to you soon enough. Anyways, let's read this stupid episode summary so you know I'm not just schizo posting. When her sister suddenly becomes paralyzed, a nurse must protect her from a broken system's neglect and an evil force. A force more evil than U.S. healthcare? Yeah, you don't think so, buddy. Cut out the all this supernatural and just make an episode that is a one-to-one recreation of simply going into a hospital. Just talking to the person running the desk at an emergency room is scarier than every nightmare the writers for this show have ever had combined. I feel like at this point, I don't know how many videos I mentioned it in. I don't, and I don't really want to go count. But with the whole survival instincts thing lacking them, I feel like I'm really burning a dead dog here. But once again, this main character is lacking any survival instincts. If you come home and your front door to your house where you live is wide open, do not go inside. Literally go back into your car and call the police and wait for them to come clear out your house. Things like this are actually why we pay for those guys to be around, believe it or not. We don't just pay for them to stop me in traffic and give me tickets. This is also one of their jobs. Thankfully, it was just her very weird sister that broke in and not a different kind of weirdo. And speaking of weird, what the hell is this sister even doing? All of the lights are off in the house and her sister's just dancing in the kitchen with no music or anything. I would karate chop my own sister right in the larynx for this kind of behavior, just on principle. I don't care if we share ancestors. They can look up from hell and see you learn a valuable lesson about proper home entry etiquette. These two are twin sisters, by the way. They are supposed to be twins, like the characters, even though one of them looks several decades older and they both look very different. I know not all twins are identical, but they usually at least appear related, and you probably could have cast twin actresses if you wanted to. I'm sure they exist. And no, these two aren't twins in real life. I checked, okay? I looked into their lives. They are both Canadian, though. I think everybody who worked on this episode is. And one of them gave up on acting and is now an elected official in the Canadian government. Hell yeah, old lady. It's the older of the two. She's a politician now. Then we get a weird scene, super weird, where they sit on the couch together, on top of each other, essentially, and they read from a children's book. And I mean, hey, every family's different, but I personally cannot imagine doing this. So I guess twins are just on a different wavelength than us normal sibling havers. By the way, their names are Ina and Adora. Ina is the elderly one, and Adora is the one wearing the hat. Yeah, I didn't have to call out her age again. I could have said she was the one in the blue shirt. So what? You gonna beat me up about it? Talk to the casting director at the CW instead. They're the ones who cast a 25-year-old actress and a 50-year-old politician to play twin sisters in this episode. Adora is suddenly hit with a headache, an ache of the mind that makes her unable to keep reading her elderly sister fairy tales. Let me tell you why that's actually spooky and even a little bit scary too. You know how Adora is reading a story to her very grown-up sister. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going on that. Shut the fuck up. Well, the story is about two brothers, one of which is suddenly hit with an unknown and severe illness out of nowhere. What? That's just what's happening to her. It's also just so typical kids book. That's just every good children's book ever made. I remember reading my Little Critter books as a kid, and in each book, one of Little Critter's family members got a new and somehow worse type of cancer. They decide to just go to sleep. Fair enough. And then we get our first instance of Ina dreaming and waking up. First of many, I might add. This dream, she sees her sister sitting on the floor with her face all nasty and messed up, at least one side of it. And the sound in this scene makes it seem like Adora is somehow eating her own face.
What's wrong? Let me see.
I think what is actually happening, or supposed to be happening, is she's scratching at it so badly, her face has become like all mangled and her damn eyeballs coming out. But the sound effects are all like very like wet and squishy. It's like an invisible mukbang content creator. It's just nom 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 right on her face. Cut to the hospital, and the sisters are there. They went to the emergency room. They're waiting for a doctor to come help them, which is taking a long time. That's, yeah, no shit. Ina complains to her sister like, oh, there are people who've arrived after us, and they have received help first, and this hospital is fucking racist. Well, the only problem with that narrative that I see is that Adora appears completely fine at the moment. Like, yeah, we know she isn't because we read the episode summary, but her headache is gone and she's just chilling, talking to her sister. Like, the ER has to make choices about priority, and the guy who just came in with his head split into thirds comes before a woman with a headache, unfortunately. But not only is she complaining about, like, this doctor hates us because of race, but now you're delaying things even further by holding up the doctor to be mean to him and complain to him. Like, you were the next up to get treatment, and once this doctor was done charting this other patient, you were at the finish line. Like, you're done, you're there. And listen, I hate the ER with a burning passion. Like, truly, genuinely, I hate stepping foot in there, and I have to go there pretty often. Every time I get stabbed or shot at work, or like whatever happens, I gotta go to the fucking emergency room, and it takes a million years. It's literally my entire night and morning. I hate it. Despite my seething hatred though, I always let them do their work because I know me being a baby whiner ain't changing, and they've got stuff they need to do. So I don't know what the point of this tangent was. Oh yeah, Ina, shut the hell up.
Silence, wench. I do not wish to be horny anymore. I just want to be happy.
Oopsie, Adora had a stroke and her brain stopped working. Oopsie, she's a vegetable. Well, I like how she didn't call for a doctor or anything. I'll handle this. They try to be like, OMG, doctor, it is your fault. It's your fault that my sister is now test tube gub gub snail man, and you're also a racist. This happened literally as you were talking to him. You didn't have time to listen to you. And like, I do not enjoy this. I don't like that the CW is making me, of all people, have to be the voice of reason in favor of a hospital. But just for fun though, let's look at this from their perspective. Two women come in claiming, first of all, that they're twin sisters, even though one is 54 and the other one is 28. Right away, these two seem crazy. The only symptom described is a mild to moderate headache that has since gone away on its own. But you tell the doctor you know something's wrong because you had a prophetic dream. It is truly surprising and f***ed up that they would not give you top priority in a major city's emergency room because of that. Post-stroke Adora gets moved into a hospice type care facility, and guys, look at me right in my eyes. What follows the stroke is 5 straight uninterrupted minutes of pointless bullshit. We're skipping it. We don't need to talk about it, okay? I don't want to hear any complaining, all right? Don't do it. When something does finally happen again, though, it's like a spooky monster climbing onto the bed of an elderly woman. I say spooky, but I'm not sure that this is the best word to describe the little guy. He looks like Groot from Marvel movie mixed with like a cookie cutter shark, and he's 4'8". Why is he being so like sensual with this elderly woman? This monster trying to freak or what? What the during this monster scene? She could be faking it for all we know. It makes it kind of fucked up that she doesn't do anything to help this poor old lady getting freaked on. Oh wow, Ina waking up from yet another dream. I would kill that lady. That would piss me off, dude. Somehow this episode is only 17 minutes, and it fits as many like waking up from a dream scenes as most 2-hour movies. And then things get weird this time. This time when she wakes up, things get a little bit weird. Ina is seeing a weird version of her own sister that parallels the monster. Like, it's appearing at the foot of her bed, being all weird, freaking it. And to be honest, this is scarier than the monster. Like, the monster is just getting a little wet and wild with it, but this is like a weird demon version of Adora, and it's actually being evil. She's even making like Conjuring-esque shrieks and growls, which I don't like. I think some wires got crossed or something when writing this episode. The best way I can describe it is it's like when Adora had a stroke, so did the writers, and we got stuck in a weird time loop because let me just break down the timeline for you. Post-stroke. So the stroke happens, then we get Ina caring for her vegetable sister and being sad. Then the monster appears and freaks it. Then Adora appears as a sleep paralysis demon. Okay, well, what happens next? Ina cares for Adora and she's sad. Then the monster appears and freaks it. Then Adora appears as a sleep paralysis demon. I bet you are going to be surprised to hear what gets rid of the monster in the end, because at first, it seems like it's going to be another case of yelling at a demon until it goes away, which I guess is every demon's weakness. We've talked about this before, but for some reason when you yell at a demon, it's like, God damn it, dude, I'm leaving. This is crazy. Not this one, though. This little fella actually has a pretty relatable weakness, which is getting shanked. That's right. The final climax of this episode, the final climax, like the big climax, and what gets this little freak to beat it is a shard of glass. Adora like slashes on his stomach with it and he just flies away. Are we 100% sure that this is actually a monster and not a pervert in cosplay? I guess pervert in cosplay is redundant here. Are we sure this isn't a cosplayer? So that was the big climax and confrontation. Slashed on the tummy by glass, idiot. Your only weakness. But what's the actual ending like? Like the true ending of the episode? Well, obviously, it's a world is a fuck ending. What did you expect even? It ends with Ina making a deal with the monster to take over the care facility. It's her little pet at the end of the episode, and she's the new owner of this place. I used to think I was an edgelord. Like I used to actually struggle with this, where I was like, man, I feel like I'm so edgy, like I'm just a little edgelord, until I started watching this show. And now all I want more than anything is a happy ending. Just one happy ending. CW, please, I beg. 2 thumbs down for this episode. In fact, editor, throw your thumbs in as well. 4 thumbs down for this episode. Not only was it unbelievably boring and at no point scary, it was such a pathetic attempt at social commentary. Like, wouldn't it be dope if the CW hired writers who actually had a message instead of just shoving a half-assed racism storyline into a random episode? It's such an insulting message to overall as well. If you're the victim of racism, you should become even more evil and just kill whoever you can in exchange for money. That's the solution. But you know what isn't racist? Today's featured comment. Leon the Lion knew that I wasn't real this whole time. Nobody else could see through the illusion though, which kind of makes us like those 2 boyfriends from Death Note. We are just simply too smart. Like, I take the potato chip and I eat it. Outro music time. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a day. I will be back with another video very soon. See ya!